Despite actually getting hit up on this a couple of times with the whole Prince Harry thing, I've stayed away, steered clear of it due to it not being in my jurisdiction. I'm an American. We had an entire war to get rid of the crown for charging us taxes that we still weren't paying. So, God bless America. But yeah, we got rid of the crown like a while ago. And as far as I've been concerned throughout the course of my life, what takes place over there is their business. Have fun, man. It's no big deal to me. And everything that I've learned bypassing via when Princess Di passed, right? There was no way to avoid that. Like there are certain situations, or when even they got married, Markle and Harry got married. Markle and Harry got married. Okay, I'm the next great rapper. Um, I is like, okay, whatever, I don't care. I noticed that there was quite a few, on a lot of online activity. Like, oh my goodness, he's marrying a black woman. I'm just like, yeah, like that's like Derek Jeter. Like she's her hotness kind of supersedes whatever skin color that she has. She's like racially ambiguous at best. But hey, it wasn't my business, so I really don't care, and it remains not my business to this very moment. But I've been presented with an opportunity to speak on it via this gentleman right here, who is Laurence Fox, a man I've never seen until everybody started going nuts about what he said on this BBC program called Question Time. And so, okay, why not? Let's have that. Let's chop it up a little bit. So, without further ado, let's get into it from the beginning and let her rock.
Should the Sussexes profit from their royal status?
The Sussexes, Harry and Meghan, should they profit from their royal status? Is that what you think they're doing? Or that they may end up doing?
I think what they may well end up doing, most likely, let's be honest. We've already seen them trademark the Sussex name. And...
Okay, so guys, off top, strokes, pumps, I'm having a hard time with this one because at angles she's really hot, at other angles it's like, whoa, man. So, and man, that accent really does it. I know there's no intention behind it. These are folks just living their lives, but the accent just comes across as a just so pompous. It just hitting the American or my American ears. And it comes across as, oh, yeah, I definitely don't want them spending the money or profiting off of the name. Yeah, they're definitely going to do that. Let's make absolutely no mistake. Every opportunity that they'll be getting in Canada or the United States will largely be in part due to the fact of their notoriety, which is worth something in and of itself, let alone whatever titles and the like the notoriety itself, the books and appearances that they'll be able to partake in. All of that already comes from there, darling. So yeah, of course they're going to be profiting whether or not it's on paper or not.
I think it's highly unlikely that they won't continue to carry on this trend. Yeah.
Laurence, what's your view on it all? Makes
Sussex
it
royal. I feel sorry for them in a way. Because it's difficult when you've got a new baby and all of that, and it's.
They had a kid. I thought the brother had the kid. I don't recall. Is Meghan Markle pregnant? I'm not sure.
It's hard, but I just have this feeling that surely Harry must have had a chat to Meghan at some point and said, by the way, darling, this is going to be misery, and you don't have to marry me if you don't want to. And then,
well, maybe they did.
No, I honestly believe he did have that conversation with her, but he's not wearing the pants in that relationship. I mean, Harry, from everything I've been able to gather about the dude, I mean, even in passing, I saw that, he was in the military. He seemed like a really good dude. Always saw him with a smile on his face. Seemed like very, open and chill and relaxed guy. And then, this broad comes along and just sinks her fangs into him, and it's just, nah, man, I'm a feminist now. And oh, Jesus, dude, really, is it that good?
Yeah, maybe they did, but then and then you want to hop out. It's like, well, can we have the cottage back and your HRHs?
Which I do feel like, hey, if these are the people, because apparently, the whole royal thing still consists off of tax dollars. And so I can definitely get where they're frustrated with, spending all of this public money for something that you're turning around and saying, nah, you don't want, after committing yourself to it. Because from what I've been able to, like I said, in passing gather, is that she wanted to make a whole bunch of different changes to the way that the royalty situation was swagged out. And the queen, nah, the queen's the queen. You know what I mean? Shoot, you want to talk about feminine entitlement, you're not going to beat that no matter what your age. You know what I'm saying? Queen trumps damn near everything. It can move across the entire chessboard, right? So, yeah, you got to know that going in. Like, one of the things that I talked to people about back in the day when I was getting my degree in criminal justice. They're like, why don't you become a cop? I was like, because becoming a cop, like, I know I was already in the military. I know that there's no change. You don't change the military. You don't change government institutions. They change you. It's one of my bigger frustrations with being an elected official, is that there's the wheels are in motion. You can sit there and you'll either be grease or try to be a wrench. Me, I just want to get something figured out for my folks, and and the grease ain't having it. So I understand the frustration, but you also got to know that this is what you signed up for when you sign up for it. As I have, it's just insanely boring being an elected official.
The wrong thing. Do you think it's disrespectful?
I don't. I think it's really unfair because, look, we've got the Queen, who is an extremely different ballgame, isn't she? She's duty ahead of everything else. And I think, when you're younger, you do want to make a life for your family. So I do empathise with them. But I do think there's a little bit of having cake and eating it, which I don't enjoy.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, and that's coming from the Meghan Markle chick, because she wanted that huge wedding. She wanted the title and the pomp and the circumstance, and oh my goodness, this is so great. But once reality set in, nah. Like, oh well, this isn't what I actually wanted, and now she's trying to flake. And honestly, Harry should have a set of a Harry Paratasticals, and really, hold her to account when it comes to this. But as I've seen, because there was this video circulating around where Harry was talking to these guys, and then Meghan just comes and completely shuts him out the conversation, and really just bogarts the entire thing, and he's just standing there like a bit of a whip dog. And so it's just like, damn, my God. My God, come on, man. And that's the thing. That's the thing about emotional investment. That's why I say often that the only thing that can really break masculinity is femininity, because sweetheart, you can make us weak. You can weaken us, because you're so because of our biological imperatives. Provide and protect. And sometimes that includes protecting feelings. And so, that's a whole nutshell in and of itself.
Well, Nest, your hand right up.
The problem we've got with this is that Meghan has agreed to be Harry's wife, and then the press have torn her to pieces.
She signed up to be a princess. This is exactly what she asked for.
And let's be really clear about what this is. Let's call it by its name. It's racism.
And this is why, ladies, you don't get to speak at the big boy stable. Okay, I'm just saying. Okay, I'm not trying to be a dick. Hashtag not all. Of course, females, you're beautiful, you're gorgeous, you can do damn near anything, and in your right mind, damn it, you're freaking powerful and fierce and all the other adjectives. But when you're not in your right mind, you are poisonous. And that's what this is to an extent. She's sitting there, well, this is racism. Oh my goodness. Once again, sweetheart, hot trumps race. Meghan Markle's hot. Okay? So to sit here and be like, oh, well, it's because she's black, you know? Come on, yo. Like, barely. She does, like, yo, she definitely passes the paper bag test. And if you're not familiar with the paper bag test, back in the day, it's like, if you're darker than a paper bag, then it is what it is. It's the genesis of colorism and all that other bullshit. But either ways, she's hot. All right. So to sit there and act like she's not getting a fair shake is just, it's feminine logic. Because she's like, oh, well, you know, it's there has to be some other reason other than her just being a flaky and, you know, like, maybe not the greatest person or human being, because she's made this commitment and now she's balking on it, and she's balking on it with the blessing and and actually not just the blessing, but taking a prince that clearly the people really liked over there and taking him with her. So it's just like, dude, to sit here and say, oh, this is racism, I'm not there. This is, like, once again, this is not my jurisdiction. I'm pretty sure there are some people who, if not consciously, subconsciously, yeah, they may have a problem with that, but to act as if, oh, no, that's just that's the only thing there is, and she has no culpability in it, sweetheart, you need a scent stick in your life, like, right now.
The black woman, and she has been torn to pieces.
You can't.
She has been torn to pieces.
It's not racism.
It absolutely is.
We're the most tolerant, lovely country in Europe. Let's celebrate our women.
Okay, thank you for qualifying that, because, you know, I mean, as far as in the world or the universe, as President Trump recently pointed out, yeah, that's us over here, the USA. But as far as he's 100% right. Like, you can't just chalk it up to racism. You can't sit there and be like, oh, this insanely attractive woman who has, you know, for the lack of a better term, at least from my passing view, has been like, all right, cool. Like, yo, they let her in. Everything was cool. Everything seemed like, I mean, if people were upset about it, they were keeping it to themselves, or just like, you know, or it was like over there for the most part. Like, no one sat there and said, Harry, do not marry, like, or at least publicly screamed about, we letting this bitch in our family, or nothing else like that. They didn't get all ratchet with it, right?
It's so easy to throw the charge of racism at everybody, and it's really starting to get boring.
What worries me about your comment is, you are a white...
Nah, church, man, like, it is boring, because, guys, I gotta say, like, as someone who's been covering this for a while, for, like, you know, almost a year now, shit, how many ways can you sit there and say, oh, maybe it's not about the one thing that you're thinking about, maybe it's about something else? Because that's the thing. Dave Chappelle had one of the best sketches ever when he did the one with the monsters in the Lost episodes, where the monsters were sitting there screaming, "Oh, it's because I'm Frankenstein. It's because I'm a werewolf." It's like, no, it's because you're an asshole.
Privileged male who has no experience in this.
I mean, can I just...
I can't help what I am.
Here's the thing. Once again, that woman needs a scent stick in her life, because it's all female feminine logic. And feminine logic, I don't really think has the proclivity to empathize, to hold to account in a proper fashion. All right? Whereas, what I'm saying, treat others the way you'd like to be treated, right? I say this on the channel all the time. We treat others the way we'd like to be treated. So the same way you, young, I think brown lady, wouldn't want for this Mr. Fox gentleman to say, oh, well, it's because you're any of your immutable characteristics, like, you know, it says something about who you are as a human being in yourself. Don't turn around and do it to him. Don't sit there and turn around and do it to the next person. It's unfair. It really is. And I'm actually really glad that my man said something about this.
I was born like this. It's an immutable characteristic. So to call me a white privileged male is to be racist. You're being racist.
He's right. He's 150% right. And the fact that, like, it'd be one thing if I didn't notice this pattern, because it's a lot of it's just coming from the feminine. And that's because us in the West, and that's you guys included, we've really just bent to their whims for so long that they're just like, oh yeah, it doesn't matter. Oh, she's pretty, so thusly she needs to be defended at all costs. And it's like, no, not even. When people are wrong, you have to be able to call them out for being wrong without having some type of label attached to you. And I'm glad that there's pushback against this now.
You cannot dismiss. Okay. I just.
Couple pumps though. She could definitely catch a couple pumps though. I mean, I'm like, this is what happens on this channel. All right. But then again, she opened her mouth, so that's really what keeps her from strokes.
Not taking a view either way. I'll just add in that Priti Patel, the Home Secretary, also took the view that it wasn't racism. I'm not making a judgment on that either way.
Yeah, she's like, no, ladies, don't turn on me now. But I'm just saying, there's somebody else who said, it's not a racist. Oh my god, yo, polite society's gotten way too polite, man. Seriously.
In the red top there, as this question's asked, you were nodding your head along vigorously. What have you got to say?
Oh, well, I think when Meghan first married Harry, I thought it was a breath of fresh air. I thought it was good. I thought it was nice to have somebody like her who was not a royal.
She wanted to say white. She really wanted to say white.
She came from America. She came from an ordinary background. I thought that was all great. But I think that she's actually joined a club.
Or she was an actress in Hollywood. What do you mean an ordinary background? Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah, sure. And trust me, just because it comes from America, particularly in human form, does not make it a great thing. But I can see her excitement at the time and how that may have waned. A lot of like with Obama, huh?
And now she just doesn't like the rules. And she wants to opt out. And as Laurence said, I think surely she must have she's an intelligent woman. Surely she must.
Do you know that though? Do you know that? Would you put her intelligence above her hypergamy? Because she's definitely a hypergamous woman. Notice she's already been divorced when your boy picked her up.
Realised some of what was going to happen.
But it might be Harry.
Well,
who's
it might
driving
be
this?
Harry, but it seemed.
There's no way in shit that it's Harry driving it. I promise you. Oh, baby girl, Blondie in the corner right there, in the left hand corner. I mean, not too terrible. Okay. Anybody else? Maybe black hair up top. Okay, got some talent there in the UK now, don't you?
To be that it's Meghan that it's all about. I don't know.
Oh, no, we don't. We can only speculate, can't we?
Yeah.
Shami, what's your take on this?
I think that you've got to walk around in someone else's shoes. Now, I know that...
Okay, and I think we're done here because there's just, like, you got to walk around in somebody else's shoes. What do we say on this channel? What's been said on this channel? You can walk in another person's shoes. You can walk that mile in that person's shoes, but you didn't walk any miles before it. So thusly, you'll never really get where another person comes from. Because some people are just liars and crazy. All right? And when there's a ton of people willing to take that off the table and just like, no, some people are just awful. And when you see it, it's best to just recognize it and avoid it. And unfortunately, that's not really where we've been, what we've been geared towards. You know, that's not what we've been culturally conditioned to do now, is it? And she's also not really all that hot. Let's get past her. I think I can go a little bit longer. All right, he's talking again. So let's see what dude has to say. Check out from the bro.
For that, and I think we should just tone it down a little bit. You know?
Lawrence, did you want to come back in for a go?
Yeah, I think that it's one of the dangerous things about throwing racism around in this country, which we're doing a lot at the moment, is people become so conscious of it that things like the Manchester grooming scandal get ignored. So that, we need...
That is something that I've heard about, where there's just a whole bunch of, browner skinned individuals with schmeats going around and snatching up white girls in the UK. Guys, I mean, y'all might want to get, like, not my jurisdiction, but I mean, y'all might want to get up on that before you, like, come here to America, John Oliver, and tell us how to, do our shit.
To be careful that we need to call out racism when it's seen, when it's obvious, and when it's there, and we should stand together to condemn it. But for fear of sounding racist, there's been horrific things have happened in Manchester and in towns all over the north of England, and we should be careful and use racism when it's there and it's obvious, and not call someone racist just because they don't agree with you.
My man, you know what? We're going to leave it right there. Hold on. We're going to put it on our boy, though, because he really rocked this. Laurence Fox, we'll find out something that's in. I'm going to listen to a song. Why? Because you came out there and you was just real about it. You're like, look, man, we trying to do what we doing our best. And that's the same way I feel about America, right? Is that we try our best. We actually, put effort into seeing, hey, yeah, this isn't right. This isn't fair. Let's try to fix that. But I think in many ways we can go too far. And I think in many ways we have gone too far. So, it's good to see people actually start to want to roll that back. And it's rather refreshing. So I wanted to give, this a good go over on the channel. And with that being said, we're going to bring this one to an end. All the internet stuff. If you liked it, toss it a like. Dislike, go ahead, do that too. Nobody's scared of you. Sub if you enjoy my fantastic voice and you want to get videos like this every single day. Share, because sharing is caring. And YouTube and BitChute and aren't the biggest fans of your boy over here. Because, can you blame them? And speak. Let me know, what do you guys think in the comments? This is, spot on, man. And as far as Harry's concerned, bruh, you already signed those papers on the dotted line. As soon as she gets you over here to Canada, the United States, you're even more vulnerable. Best of luck to you. I really hope, that turns around and that you guys can have a nice, happy life and family and the whole nine. But it does seem a little jacked up how these circumstances have played out. But once again, it's not my jurisdiction, right? But hey, just because it's not the jurisdiction, don't mean I can't have an opinion on the shit. So you guys let me know what you think in the comments, okay? And until the next one.